Hello, everybody. It's me, Drea, and welcome back to Drea and the Internet. Grab a snack, get comfortable, because we have Reddit stories. Let's get into it. Am I the asshole for telling my husband that our marriage is over because he asked for a paternity test? That's a touchy subject for sure. I don't have any kids, and from the title, I don't know the situation. Let's see. Throwaway account, but need some clarity as I am massively upset. I, 52 female, have been married to my husband for 24 years, together for 30 years. It hasn't always been roses, but we had a lot of fun. Yesterday, we were having a Friday evening drink to relax, and our son, 17, asked for help with his gaming PC. I'm the tech, so I tried to give advice. My husband got pissy and stormed off, saying that his relaxed time was ruined. I thought he was being childish and pretty much ignored him. Sounds pretty childish. This evening, he told me that in a previous relationship, his partner had a miscarriage, and in the investigation, they found he was infertile, and so she had been cheating. This is news to me. Yeah, we've been together 12 years before I conceived. I have never cheated on him. I always thought the problem had been mine. He says that our son is not his, and he wants a DNA test. I agreed because I never cheated on him. I said our marriage was over because of this. Said he knew I would react this way, and I'm a lying a-hole. My heart is broken, Reddit. Am I the asshole? I don't think that you are. You said you never cheated on him, so you could do the DNA test. It does suck that he's waited until your son was 17 to bring this to your attention. But we do have a quick edit from OP. Quick edit. Thank you so much for answering, for your support and advice. I've read them and will try and respond to as many as I can. But as a quick note, his ex is a lovely woman and we are friends on Facebook. I'll message her in the morning. The dementia angle being suggested is a good one and deserves investigating. I am not a robot or AI. I wish I was, because then it wouldn't hurt so much. Yes, paternal uncertainty is something that women don't appreciate, but he should have said before. I would have understood if he had raised it earlier because it did take a while to get pregnant. He had told me about the miscarriage with the ex, which is why I thought our fertility issues were mine. He never told me about getting his fertility checked. I have worked in tech for the past 25 years. My son doesn't have my troubleshooting skills. His parting shot tonight was that he didn't say anything at the time because I needed a father for my kid. I'd rather no father than a father that resents a kid. I pointed out that in previous heated arguments, I would have thrown that at him and left with my son if there was any doubt he was the father. That's not a good way to handle that. He was the stay-at-home parent, and I didn't leave him in other turbulent times because I didn't want to leave our son. I'll update you. Thank you. 17 years is a long time to have been living with this question and to also not be trusting your wife. He should have brought it up sooner, preferably before the kid could talk, maybe. In my opinion, I think that it probably should have been done at the hospital, maybe brought up during her pregnancy, and he should have said that he had his fertility checked before any of the pregnancy stuff. But let's see what the comments have to say. Why did he wait 17 years to ask for a paternity test? To me, that is the real question. Yes, 17 years he waited. Raised this child, has this child calling him dad, and now he wants to bring it to the attention to mom that he doesn't think this kid could possibly be his. It doesn't make sense. We also have a comment from OP. Wow, this blew up with a lot of comments on both sides. A lot of great and heartbreaking stories. Thank you everybody for commenting. I needed to be a part of a community last night. Next update. I messaged his ex and she said that absolutely none of what he said was true. I can't imagine that she would have any reason to lie to me. She doesn't have anything to gain from that, and she lives 5,000 miles away, so they aren't having an affair behind my back. He is currently locked into the guest room and is messaging me on WhatsApp. He said that he only asked the question and that I am weaponizing this question and it is all my fault. You asked for a paternity test and then stormed off without having an actual conversation with your wife, telling her that your ex cheated on you. So she did her own investigating and found out that you're a liar. And now you're upset because she's probably even more pissed off, and you're texting her again, not having a conversation and telling her she's weaponizing things. There is an update. So this will probably need other updates. The next day, I messaged his ex and told her what had happened. She said absolutely none of what he said was true. She lives 5,000 miles away and has nothing to gain from lying to me. She echoed what some have mentioned, and that maybe he is having some kind of mental health crisis. We don't live in the first world, and there's only one clinic that does paternity tests, so I told him about it. The boy knows and is happy enough to go get a test with his dad, but to my knowledge, he hasn't done this at all. Tempted to buy one off of Amazon and get it shipped, to be honest. Anyway, I can't do the test for him. He has to do that. So with some quiet distance, I decided to see what would happen. I did promise in sickness and in health. So if it is a mental health crisis, I should be there. Also, he won't go see a doctor, so it's a kind of tough. Last night he blew up again over something trivial while making dinner and was shouting, shut up," at me. I calmly pointed out that I don't talk to him like that, so off he stomped and locked himself in the guest room and is not talking to me this morning. I really think it is starting to look like a mental health crisis. I am not sure what to do next other than to try and be calm. Try not to let him upset me. Has he ever talked to you like this? Because it could be a mental health issue, but he still shouldn't be talking to you like that. And he's also refusing to go to a doctor. And he's also refusing to do this paternity test, the one that he wanted, by the way. It's giving major red flags, and I'm sorry that you are going through this, OP. We do have an edit. Thank you, everybody, for all your comments, support, and advice. I tried to talk to him this evening, tried to be calm and just ask. Did not get any answers. Suggested therapy or medical evaluation, but he said that it was just me looking to blame him in a circular way. Suggested we both go for therapy, but he wasn't up for that. I just got to keep my wits and get my kid out of here when he graduates. Girl, he doesn't want help. You can't force somebody to get help if they don't want help. He doesn't think there's anything wrong with him, probably, and that you are the one that are making all these problems. Also, our families don't live near us. We are from the first world, but we live in the third. We don't have any family anywhere near. He doesn't work and he doesn't have friends nearby. I have animals to care for and a feral cat colony. I can't walk out and he has nowhere to go either. Oh, feeding the cats. I love cats. You may see my cat. Every once in a while, she might get into the view of the camera. I also have a dog. She lays around a lot. Call her a potato. Anyways, my husband has never been violent, but I won't stick around if he ever showed that side. Thanks for all your concern. Love and hugs across the interwebs. Definitely don't stay if he gets violent, but how long until that moment, you know? Let's see what the comments have to say. Maybe a TBI or brain tumor. He needs a complete physical soon. My late sister's partner started acting like a grumpy, angry old coot. She pretty much forced him to get a complete physical, and they learned he was severely deficient in vitamin B. Regular injections made a very quick improvement, and he was a happy guy again. See, tell him. He could just have a vitamin B deficiency, and all the grumpiness will go away. And then maybe you guys can have a civil conversation about his questions in the validity of his son. Another comment says, how's the situation with the in-laws? Main question being, can you count on them to help with an intervention? Y'all need to sit him down and get him to either feed up or get checked. I do agree that maybe contacting your in-laws, even if they can't come to you, maybe they can talk to him and show him the things that he's saying and doing is a bit unusual for his typical behavior, and maybe they can back you up on that. Unfortunately, we do not have another update. Man, I want to know if he actually got diagnosed with something, if she's still there. Is she okay? We don't have any updates. I am hoping that maybe it's just like a vitamin B deficiency. He gets it back, they have a conversation, and they live happily ever after. I know that's going to be kind of hard because once you question somebody like that, it's hard to recover, I would think. But we will do one more story. Am I the asshole for telling my sister she has to choose between being friends with my ex or having a relationship with me? I have an ex, and my sister is friends with her. They don't talk very often, and me and that ex, we didn't break up on bad terms, sort of. It was a long time ago as well, and they were also best friends. Even my current girlfriend is also friends with this ex, and they talk, but again, it was, I don't know, maybe 14 years ago this person and I were together. So it just really depends on the ex. I have exes that if my sister told me she was friends with, my sister would choose me. My sister would respect me not wanting her friends with certain exes, and I don't have a problem with her being friends with this specific ex that she is friends with. I, 24 female, was in a 2-year relationship with my ex, 23 male, that ended about a year ago. It was one of the most mentally draining experiences of my life. He lived with me, didn't work, failed university, and I financially supported most of the relationship while also studying and working. I felt more like his parent than his partner. I had to push him to study, maintain his hygiene, and emotionally regulate him constantly. He was very dependent and controlling. If I went out with friends, he would stay up waiting and then make me feel guilty the next day. He wouldn't let me get out of the bed in the morning if he was still sleeping. That is wild. I can't lay in bed all day. And if you're laying in bed all day, that's your thing. My girlfriend now, she works weird hours. She sleeps in late a lot of the time. I can't stay in bed that long. I need to get up, even if I'm not doing anything. I can't lay in the bed. I'm going to go and I'm going to sit on the couch and watch YouTube until I hear her get up. And then I come back upstairs and we have our morning routine of talking, seeing how we slept, if we had a good dream, bad dream, whatever it might be. But I'm not laying in the bed all day. And you're not going to make me. Sometimes until 1 p.m. So I would lie there for hours to avoid conflict and other stuff like that. There were repeated boundary violations with other women. To be completely clear, I don't care if he had female friends, but I didn't tolerate romantic messages. I love you texts, models from OnlyFans on Instagram, hidden conversations. Every time I confronted him, he cried, apologized, and promised to change. It never stopped. At one point, I saw him laughing with another girl about me being upset after I discovered inappropriate messages. I'm glad you left. You should have left forever ago, it seems like. The stress affected my health. I gained weight, developed severe migraines, and had intense anxiety. Sometimes all that stress made me vomit. A breaking point was at my sister's boyfriend's birthday party. That's a mouthful. That we organized. He acted childish the entire night, baby voice, sulking, all that. At the end of the party, I broke down crying and begged him to change. He promised he would. The next morning, he came into the kitchen with a visible pee stain on his pants. I politely told him he might want to change. Instead, he went back and laid on my bed like that. Disgusting! I remember thinking, I cannot live like this anymore. When I broke up with him, I did it calmly. I told him I wasn't mentally okay and couldn't continue. I even paid him back for a gym membership he bought me that I never asked for. I helped him pack and gave him food when he moved out. He bought you a gym membership? That you didn't even ask for? Men, do not buy women gym memberships unless they have specifically said they want a gym membership. Because I'm going to tell you this. You buy them a gym membership without them telling you that they want a specific membership to a specific gym, you are calling them fat. And that's what it is. You buy a woman a gym membership, they didn't ask for it, you're telling them that they're fat. Don't call women fat. After the breakup, he spread rumors that I cheated, not true, and asked me for money. I cut contact after that. The issue now is my sister, 27 female. She became friends with him during our relationship. After we broke up, instead of distancing herself, like a good sister would do, she became closer to him. He invites her and her boyfriend to dinners and events. She maintains an active friendship with him. At first, I tried to tolerate it. I see her as my best friend. But over time, it hurt more and more. She now organizes gatherings separately, one with him and one with me, which means I'm often excluded from the big parties. That's rude. Recently, I sat down with her and explained that this is a boundary for me. I said I cannot maintain a close relationship with someone who chooses to stay close to a person who treated me the way he did. I wasn't trying to control her. I was explaining what I can and cannot emotionally handle. She reacted very aggressively. She screamed that I'm trying to control her life. At one point, she said that even if he had beaten me badly enough to put me in the hospital, I still wouldn't have the right to tell her who she can be friends with. That really shook me. Yeah, girl, your sister, who you see as your best friend, said that if this man put you in the hospital, she would probably still be his friend. Cut her off. That's all I got to say. Cut her off. I tried to calm things down. I suggested we talk later. I even said we could reset and just have wine, but she kept escalating. I got really nervous, so I stood up to take space on the balcony and told her to shut up. She was screaming the whole time. After that, she said that it's her home and I should be careful how I speak there. In an emotional moment, I said something I regret, that I hope one day she would understand how I feel by being treated the same way. I immediately apologized and said I don't actually wish that on her. I told her that if she chooses to continue this friendship, I will distance myself, not to punish her, but to protect myself. I hate when people get angry and say things out of anger because we always end up regretting what we say. You lose your validity in your argument because then you're having to backtrack, and then it also like pokes a hole where somebody else can get in and they can use it against you. Here's what's making me question myself. After this huge argument, everyone is acting like nothing happened. My sister called me and talked normally, like there was no conflict. I answered her coldly and ended the conversation. Before leaving that night, I clearly explained that this means that she is choosing him, so we can't be friends. My mom keeps asking if I've talked to my sister, even though she knows I haven't. It feels like my entire family is pretending that what I said doesn't exist. Your sister chose. And unfortunately, she did not choose you. And you have to cut her off. And maybe even your mom, depending on her motive and how she also approaches this. Moms also don't want their children fighting. So she could be trying to bring you guys together. Maybe the sister talked to mom and said that I need to apologize. So now mom is trying to get you to talk to sister so that sister can apologize. That kind of dynamic. What else? I blocked my sister because I don't want contact right now. But I feel like they think I'm overreacting and that eventually I'll just calm down like I always do. I don't try to control her. I just try to set boundaries. But I feel like everyone is pretending that nothing ever happened. And you should set boundaries. And if people overstep your boundaries or disrespect your boundaries or tell you that your boundaries are made up, they're probably not good people. Because it sounds like they're pretending like you didn't just set boundaries and they're just going to continue to do what they have been doing in hopes that you decide that you've gone crazy or something and have blown it totally out of proportion, or you were overreacting, which I don't think that you are. I'm usually the one who keeps the peace, and pushes my feelings down so everyone else can be comfortable. This is the first time I've said, this is my boundary, and meant it. Now I'm questioning if I'm being selfish or dramatic. Am I the asshole? No, you're not the asshole. Everyone deserves to set boundaries, and if people don't want to respect them, then those people don't need to be in your life. And you said this is the first time that you've set a boundary and want to keep it that way. And that's important. Keeping the peace in most situations does bite people in the butt, because people will be like, oh, she'll get over it and everything will be back to normal. But this time, you have to remember to stand your ground and don't let anybody change what boundary you have set for yourself. Let's see what the comments have to say. The fact that she said that even if he put you in the hospital, you wouldn't be allowed to ask her to stop talking to him is so incredibly problematic. Block your sister and anyone who supports her. It hurts, it's hard, but it's not healthy. Not the asshole. Exactly. Your sister, not a good person. For that statement to even come out of her mouth, wild. Another comment says, not the asshole, boundary is a boundary, your sister is the asshole for insinuating that she would stay friends with someone who even tries to abuse you. Exactly. Who are you going to call, if not your best friend, who happens to be your sister, if something like that did happen? She's not going to come save you? She's not going to come get you out of that situation? She's probably the type of person to tell you that you deserved it. Another comment said, not the asshole, your sister should have backed away from him even if he was an awesome boyfriend. But he wasn't. He was neglectful and abusive, yet somehow she's good with it. Unacceptable, really gross, actually. It's in the sister's job description that she's supposed to be on your side. Exactly. My sister will always have my back. Your sister should have your back. She is literally supposed to be your best friend. You're born into that friendship. Not saying you guys have been best friends your whole life, but usually the best friendship comes later in life, and she should be that person for you. She should be there supporting you, respecting your boundaries, making sure that you're comfortable because of a situation that you told her that wasn't good. Is there an update? I am not seeing an update. Well, OP, I hope that you cut off your sister, or maybe that your sister came to her senses and maybe the friendship with this boyfriend isn't what she thought it would be. Do you know what? No. Cut her off, because even if she comes to terms with it because she learned that he's not a good person, you already tried to tell her. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments what you think and how you would deal with this situation. Would you cut off your sister? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!